tribe's caught a fluffy Hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk's on the loose. Bad. You gave them no choice but to take it down, even though they'd planned to take the Fluff Hulk out to the far Fnacky Leaves and let it go. They've received news a Ronin had strengthened their ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of myriad crusaders already headed out to Jagni's Mercadorpus outpost and are waiting for you there. You should hurry there and help them best the outpost. The Myriad tribe is prepared to fight to the death for souls that will be forever lost if not saved. Look, an emergency box from the old days, when you needed... Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. Toxanol was something called a corporate juggernaut, and our world still bears the marks of the massive ecological catastrophes they inflicted upon the land. The apocalypse they caused was the end of days for their world. But for us, it was simply a beginning. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Punched up. Good eye for that stuff. It's shockingly dark out there. That notice board? Filled with the leftovers of used-to-be wants. You're getting close to one of those old Toxanol brick towns. Pay attention. The Toxanol Corporation made this place, and then just threw it away when they were done with it. Well, small ones. Places like this were cheap back in those days, and there was plenty of space. Get done with one place, you just build another. There must be a track somewhere in this brick town. Just hope it's not buried. A flush stool from the back in time. It's an apparatus that sink-sunks yellow juice and brown bobs. Let's try out the brush away, see if you can off-chase some drip droppings. Seems like the tighteners on the piping need to be unturned correctly to drain the flush stool. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's the kind of trouble you really want to wash away. This corner of the world is called Bricktown. Night gives you relief from the day. Looks like the Fry Sparker's knobs need to be in sync if you want to get the hardware working. It's a Fry Sparker mindset. Boom! You got something. It's not exactly what you wanted, but you got it right away. Better than nothing. Heroes inspire in a way nothing else can. Let's see. Never thought I'd see a clothes soaker from the long gone again. It's an up cleaner of unwash, the clean-cut way to unstain garb. You need to get the pegs lined up to get the clothes soaker rolling. Just a few moves left. Make them count. You really put a spin on it. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. You're not dead yet. Flash the slash. Right where it counts. Time to get a move on before all your chances slip on by. This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Fan that flame!
Wait, no! Bright light blinds! It's dangerous!
I've got all the cold sick burns you need, Dark.
Oh, do you have to insult me over this?
I don't have to, but I want to.
Well, what do you know? Now, that's respectable. Fits you well. The fresh air has done you good. That's a Myriad tribe outpost. Hack and slash. All things end. Chop chop. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Needs a logical reason to reveal the secret. Says it's hard to keep a secret from someone as smart as you. Might as well tell you where the place is, as you'll figure it out eventually. Says the Tree of Life reflects the state of our world. Understands completely. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Not sure if you're likable enough to be let in on it. Says you look trustworthy. Might as well tell you where it is. Hopes you're having a good day. It's what you deserve. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Sparkles about how brilliant it is to have someone like you that shares both genetics and karma in the myriad spectrum. Seems surprised you have to go. Wishes you would just give up and let the world burn. Says talking to you was interesting. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Not sure if you're likable enough to be let in on it. Says you look trustworthy. Might as well tell you where it is. Even the tree will die someday, but you can delay that. Says you're welcome back. The Vespidut outpost, long-time home of the Myriad tribe. Down is easy, up is the hard bit. Glad you're wise enough to work during the day. Understands you have things to do. Thinks it's awful how you can't find good pastries anymore. Sure, Lump makes some wild things, but the taste and how they treat you when you eat them. Oh, no thanks. Figures they'll fill your belly, at least. Says the rumor is, Lump's baked goods can do all sorts of strange things to you. They've never been brave enough to try his craziest creations. If you're desperate enough to give them a go, good for you. Says there's nothing Lump likes to talk about more. Wants to know how much good you think you can actually do in a ruined world. Understands completely. Tells you to find the Ganote pen and you'll find Nocco. And a whole lot of Ganotes. Says talking to you was interesting. Thinks Myriad and Netra are evenly matched at the moment. Says you should take it easy. Sparkles about how brilliant it is to have someone like you that shares both genetics and karma in the Myriad spectrum. Understands you have other places you need to go. Says you're okay by them. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Wishes you'd been better as a kid, but is glad you finally figured it out. So, says you covered the important things already. Shines happy that the Myriad can count on a friend as bright as you. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Thinks Myriad and Lotus would make a tough match-up these days. Says you're welcome back. Take a moment to absorb the day. Says you should enjoy the day. Hopes to see you again soon. Surprised you don't know Gizmo? Head down to the chug yard to find him.
Pigeon.
Says you should take it easy. Sparkles about how brilliant it is to have someone like you that shares both genetics and karma in the myriad spectrum. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. Says you used to keep to yourself, but now at least you act. Understands you have other places you need to go. The air feels electric. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. Now that's a flesh wound. Light is the best, period. Every lock has a key. Sharp shirt. It's shockingly dark out there. You found the track! Amazing it wasn't destroyed. So much of this place was just discarded. Lucky the track somehow made it. No, it was never nice. It was new once, but that's not nearly the same thing. Just being new never lasts. The tracks moved on from Bricktown, and you should too. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that Mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like, well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. This box once tailed a chugger-chugger. Now it's just off track. Carving it up. You're in pain. Bang, bang. Bomber Bonkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Ready for battle again. Sharp. Look at that, right in the chug yard. Follow the rails and you'll find all sorts of little treasures scattered all over the place. Who do you think? You're not the first wanderer in these parts. Good work finding that track. They can teach you so much about the world. Keep looking for more. There's a lot on the line here. Take your time. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. Let's see. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. It carries so much hate, and its insatiable hunger has only increased over the years since it claimed revenge on your parents. Gizmo says he also has re-memories from the long gone, but unlike you, he doesn't think of the past, for it's gone. He understands history made Lupa-Lupin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo encourages that. You should forgive, but never forget. It'll provide some comfort to your soul and keep the memory of lost loved ones in your heart.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Would like to know if you ever doubt the choices you made on the path that brought you to this point. Would you have been happier going in a different direction? Supposes that's all any of us can do. Hard to believe the world is actually going to survive. Just seemed impossible till now. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Myriad. They always seem so centered and so seeking. Figures everyone does. They seem unusually dedicated to finding them. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now.
Julie, not now.
He can't leave the underyard as he has no protection against the vacuum in the dead zone, so you need to salvage scrap to upcycle the Mekton, starting with the old crate outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mekton strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff.
Keep up.
It's the part of the land that suffered most from the apocalypse. It's deprived of oxygen, making it next to impossible for anything but creatures that were most contorted by the contamination. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes. Conserve your wind. That's the leftover you're looking for. Nice view.
Keep up.
He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun, and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. He made a suction device, so the Mekton can use the black tar as an instant refuel. You can also use it to clear oily goo puddles, so you can pass and access hard-to-get-to areas. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the Jumbo Puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. Gizmo thinks he's a little peculiar, but very knowledgeable. He has the ins and outs of all monster and creature whereabouts. Night falls like a giant around here. The grease monkey's mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. Back to your own stompers. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. Flex those arms.
Bolsje. Inmo. Tiara. Vaksa u intabadal.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be.
Ja.
Says a monster hunter hears many things on the wind.
Vaksa u intabadal.
Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes.
Everzit.
Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make.
Bolsje.
You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care.
Lech.
It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss.
Padam wagumo nash vaya.
Claims he mostly kills whoever he doesn't like.
Ramivav Cairo.
Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot.
Sirka full of dehos.
Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead.
Winshila book.
Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones.
Sam.
Says they keep the monsters away. He needs them closer, not farther.
Wachandonaneya.
But enough of that, right?
Jiravabasco.
He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed.
Amanka.
He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output. Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall. Says as big as they are, the world is bigger. To find where they are, you need to see where they've been.
Tomosakula inabella.
Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big.
Mansela fat.
There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes.
Lemma.
Says you stick to the hunting and shots present themselves later. Let's see. Who would be dumb enough to get in your way? Wait, it's the script hole-up. The place is just filled with critters. Bangarang. Punch time. There are tough times ahead, no matter where you go. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. That'll come in handy. Got yourself a solid hole maker? Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. A Reaper? For all your slashing needs. Pace yourself. Imagine that. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. Great shot. Every day is a new chance to fulfill your destiny. You could put that to good use. Getting swole. Your destiny waits on the path you'll take to avoid it. He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done.
Well, I value by you.
That's the special weapon he made to store the scripts in the Mechton. It will be strong enough to launch them at the Jumbo Puff.
Well, I value by you.
Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mechton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now. Otherwise, he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. He asks you to not even think about taking on the Jumbo Puff on foot. You'll need the Mechton to do the job. Take his word for it. There's time to improve the Mechton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mechton with on your own. He's sure you remember enough of what he taught you about upcycling to fit some skronky gear to the Mechton on your own. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says automatons like that are rare. Claims even as a kid you had so much heart and is glad that hasn't faded. Understands you have other places you need to go. Gizmo wants to help if he can. That West World Eater is real trouble. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Understands you have other places you need to go. Sound seems to travel farther at night. That's a Jagni tribe outpost. A shopperia. Maybe there's something still inside. You're harmed. Shot. Make that one dead. that should. You're fading. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest and recovery. When day... Seems that the knobs need to be aligned so the device can load its program. Take your time and enjoy the daylight. This one seems to be in good spirits despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
The light shines on!
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best!
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst! We're just the best!
Rito and his bandits make camp here. Take care. All fired up. There are things out there waiting for you. A real treasure. Got anything? This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Come toward the light.
Slow down. Why would you rush in?
When you see what you want, why wait?
Well, what about being careful?
Pah! Poppycock! Full speed ahead!
Not getting... Hey, nice shot. Wham! How many days like this do you think the world has left?
Zatuna.
This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead.
Bon.
Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need.
Ishkayamaku.
Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions.
Unkyo.
Is grateful you chose that. You can't be good without doing good for others.
Run, Dark, run!
It's not a race.
You only say that because you're losing.
Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
No, there are lots of other reasons you're wrong. You can't really understand your story till it's done.